The movie Seabiscuit is based on Laura Hillenbrand's book by the same title. It's written and directed by Gary Ross. And it's the story of three individuals and a horse. The horse, of course, was Seabiscuit. And it was an apparently fantastic racehorse that came from a kind of low doldrum position as a horse who was reinvented into a great racing horse. In a similar vein, three different personalities were having their own personal difficulties. On the one hand, there was Charles Howard, and all of these characters are historical. They are actual individuals who lived during this time. He was a man who made a big killing in money, but then a family tragedy brought him down. There was Tom Smith, a great outdoorsman, a horse trainer, the kind of person that they used to describe as the person who could talk to animals. Seeing his lifestyle radically changed from the open plains to now roads being built for cars, and his kind of occupation, trailing after a herd of horses, vanishing from his vista. And then the third personality is a young boy by the name of Johnny Pollard. Johnny was a child in a family of rather affluent means, but then the Depression hit and the family ended up in Hooverville. They called them Hoovervilles because Herbert Hoover was the president at the time of the Depression, and the result was that people had to go live in small camps where they would eke out a living either as a result of doing menial jobs or getting a handout from the government. These three individuals, just like the horse Seabiscuit, were in a bad way, but gradually they come together and form a unit that works wonders not only for each of the individuals and the horse, but uplifting the society as a whole. Because while America also was in its doldrums from 1930 all the way up till the mid-1940s, or at least the early 1940s, there was some sense of relief when the people of America took hold of this horse as a kind of like symbol, because this horse was down and out just as they were. This horse was homeless just as many of them were, and was to be cast aside just like many of them felt they were being cast aside. But because of the horse's ability against odds, it was a small horse, much smaller than the average running horse, the racing horses of the time. It was able to gain the strength, the fortitude, to come back, to achieve the kind of uplift that the people themselves were hoping to achieve. Now, part of the way in which Gary Ross, the writer and director of tonight's film, captures the mood and the visual image of the time is through still photographs, a montage of photographs. And he has David McCulloch give the narration describing what was going on at this time in the 1930s. As a matter of fact, the film opens with a series of still photographs depicting the Henry Ford car and the production line that brought a lot of people into jobs, and every family with a car during the time prior to the Depression. But then when the Depression hits, the production line becomes vacant, and people then are out of jobs. And so David McCulloch's role is, I think, significant in tonight's film, even though we never see him, but we hear him. And he does a masterful job of minimizing his presence by never really dramatizing the lines that he's reading. He speaks just matter-of-factly, which is all that needs to be done in order for us to get the message, because the pictures tell us the story. This is the time of the Depression, and I think Seabiscuit is an uplifting movie. Some have said that it's a little bit too long. I disagree with that. Let you be the judge of that as you watch it in your own convenient time. But let's go ahead. I hope you enjoy Seabiscuit.